Assalamu alaikum. In a world where wealth and status often define success, it's easy to forget the true purpose of our existence. Today, we delve into the story of Qarun, a man blessed with unimaginable riches but consumed by arrogance and pride. His story, preserved in the noble Qur'an, is more than a tale of wealth. It's a timeless lesson about humility, gratitude, and the consequences of ignoring Allah's guidance. Stay with us as we uncover the journey of Qarun, the wisdom behind his rise and fall, and the eternal lessons that can guide our own lives. In the Holy Qur'an, Allah mentions the story of Qarun, not merely as a tale of wealth, but as a profound lesson for all humanity. Qarun's life and downfall illustrate the dangers of arrogance, ingratitude, and attachment to worldly possessions. His story is a warning for those who allow wealth and status to blind them to the reality of life and the hereafter. Qarun, also known as Korah in the biblical tradition, was a man from the people of Musa. May Allah be pleased with him. He was not an ordinary man among his people. He was from Bani Israel, a nation chosen and blessed by Allah. They were given guidance, favor, and blessings far beyond what many other peoples of that time had. Qarun, being part of this favored group, had every opportunity to live a life devoted to Allah, using his blessings for good, charity, and righteousness. Yet he allowed pride and arrogance to dominate his heart. According to scholars, Qarun was closely related to Musa. May Allah be pleased with him, being the son of his paternal uncle. This close relation only magnified his sin, because it was expected that someone so near to a prophet, living among a community of guidance, would act with humility and gratitude. Instead, Qarun's heart was consumed by his love for wealth and his desire for status, which led him to transgress the limits set by Allah. The Qur'an describes Qarun as one who was arrogant and ungrateful. Allah says, "Verily, Qarun was of Musa's people, but he behaved arrogantly towards them." Surah Al-Qasas, verse 76. This verse reveals the beginning of Qarun's transgression, arrogance. Qarun's wealth and status became the measure of his worth in his own eyes. He began to see himself as self-sufficient, as someone who did not need guidance or reminders. Ibn Kathir, in his Tafsir, explains that Qarun's arrogance stemmed from the abundance of wealth Allah had given him. Allah says in the Qur'an, "And whatsoever you have been given is an enjoyment of the life of this world and its adornment. But what is with Allah is better and will remain forever. Have you then no sense?" Surah Al-Qasas, verse 60. Qarun's story is also a lesson about the misuse of blessings. Wealth, knowledge, and influence are gifts from Allah, given not for self-glorification, but to benefit others, to spread goodness, and to draw closer to Allah. Qarun had knowledge, influence, and riches, yet he used them only to elevate himself, to show off, and to satisfy his desires. His arrogance blinded him to the guidance of his people, the advice of the righteous, and the warnings of Allah. Scholars such as Al-Qurtubi explain that Qarun's example serves as a lesson to all nations. Wealth alone is not proof of righteousness or divine favor. Even if someone is surrounded by treasures, powerful relatives, or high status, these are meaningless if they are not accompanied by humility, gratitude, and righteous action. Qarun's riches could not protect him from Allah's punishment. Just as the might of Pharaoh could not save him, Qarun's wealth became the instrument that revealed his downfall. Qarun's wealth was unlike anything his people had ever seen. The Qur'an mentions, "And we gave him of the treasures, that of which the keys would have been a burden to a body of strong men." Surah Al-Qasas, verse 76. Scholars explain that the treasures of Qarun were so vast that even a group of physically strong men, 7 to 10 in number, would struggle to carry the keys to his wealth. Imagine the sheer scale of this fortune, overflowing with gold, silver, precious stones, garments, and every form of luxury one could imagine. Despite the enormity of his fortune, Qarun's heart was blinded by pride. He walked arrogantly before his people, displaying his adornments, his garments, and his treasures. He let the beauty of his worldly possessions define his status, and he sought admiration for them. This is the beginning of the moral decay that wealth can bring when it becomes the primary pursuit of a person's life. Wealth, when accompanied by arrogance, can mislead the heart and sever a person from the remembrance of Allah. Recognizing the danger that Karun faced, the righteous among his people gave him sincere advice. They sought to remind him of the true purpose of wealth, the fleeting nature of worldly life, and the eternal significance of the hereafter. The Qur'an narrates this guidance. Remember when his people said to him, "Do not exult. Verily, Allah likes not those who exult. And seek, with that which Allah has bestowed on you, the home of the hereafter, and forget not your portion of lawful enjoyment in this world. And do good, as Allah has been good to you, and seek not mischief in the land. Verily, Allah likes not the mischief makers." Surah Al-Qasas, verse 77. Despite these sincere warnings, Karun's heart remained hardened. He arrogantly responded to the council with disbelief and pride, claiming, "This has been given to me only because of the knowledge I possess." Surah Al-Qasas, verse 78. Qarun believed that his wealth was a reward for his own merit and knowledge, rather than a test or a blessing from Allah. He failed to recognize that every blessing is a trust, and that misuse or arrogance transforms it into a cause for destruction. Despite the heartfelt advice of his people, Qarun's arrogance only grew stronger. Instead of reflecting on the wisdom of their words, he turned inward, attributing his immense wealth to his own knowledge and abilities. He declared, "This has been given to me only because of the knowledge I possess." Surah Al-Qasas, verse 78. Qarun believed that his prosperity was solely due to his intelligence and merit, ignoring the fundamental truth that all blessings come from Allah alone. The Qur'an reminds us of the futility of such pride. Did he not know that Allah had destroyed before him generations, men who were stronger than him in might and greater in the amount they had collected? Surah Al-Qasas 28:78. Qarun, despite his treasures and the admiration of his people, was no different from those earlier generations who were destroyed due to their arrogance and transgression. His display of wealth created two distinct reactions among his people. Those who were captivated with worldly life saw him as incredibly fortunate. The Qur'an describes their words. Those who were desirous of the life of this world said, "Ah, would that we had the like of what Karun has been given. Verily, he is the owner of a great fortune." Surah Al-Qasas, verse 79. These people measured success by material abundance alone. They envied Karun and wished for the same worldly fortune, equating possession with happiness and prestige. Their perspective represents the danger of a society captivated by materialism, where the heart is blinded to moral and spiritual truths. However, there was another group, the learned and the righteous, who understood the deeper reality. They warned the envious, saying, "Woe to you! The reward of Allah is better for those who believe and do righteous deeds, and this none shall attain except the patient." Surah Al-Qasas, verse 80. The story of Karun teaches a vital lesson about envy and greed. Those who envied him were reminded of their vulnerability. Had Allah not been merciful, they too could have faced the same destruction. The Qur'an recounts their reflection. And those who desired his position the day before began to say, "Know you not that it is Allah who expands the provision or restricts it to whomsoever he pleases of his servants? Had it not been that Allah was gracious to us, he could have caused the earth to swallow us." Surah Al-Qasas, verse 82. Qarun's arrogance reached its peak when he paraded his wealth before his people. So he went forth before his people in his finery, Surah Al-Qasas, verse 79, he adorned himself in magnificent garments, surrounded by servants, treasures, and horses, displaying his grandeur for all to see. The Qur'an paints a vivid picture of his opulence, emphasizing the allure of wealth and how it can captivate hearts. Those focused on the material world envied him. Those who sought knowledge and piety saw the moral decay behind the splendor. Qarun's arrogance, ingratitude, and obsession with wealth set the stage for his ultimate downfall. His story is a stark reminder that excessive attachment to worldly possessions can lead to spiritual blindness. The Qur'an emphasizes that such pride and mischief do not go unnoticed by Allah. We caused the earth to swallow him and his dwelling place. Then he had no group to help him against Allah, nor was he one of those who could save themselves. Surah Al-Qasas, verse 81. Qarun's punishment was immediate and absolute. The earth itself consumed him and his treasures, illustrating a divine principle. Those who elevate themselves in arrogance, oppress others, and misuse their blessings will be brought low, and nothing can rescue them from Allah's decree. The lesson extends beyond Karun himself. His people, who had envied his wealth, witnessed his destruction and were reminded of the mercy of Allah and the dangers of envy, pride, and misjudging success. They realized that worldly riches are not proof of virtue, and that Allah alone determines the ultimate outcome of all matters. As we reflect on the story of Qarun, one thing becomes clear. True success is measured not by wealth, power, or status, but by our obedience to Allah, our humility, and our actions in this world. Let Qarun's story remind us to use our blessings wisely, to help those around us, and to always strive for the eternal rewards of the hereafter. May Allah guide us to be among the humble, the grateful, and the righteous. If you found this story inspiring, share it with others, and remember, in every blessing lies a test, and in every trial lies an opportunity to draw closer to Allah.